As this virus looms, so does the beginning of the school year, and there's some important information to know. Just last week, the Cleveland Clinic reported 14 new pediatric cases of COVID-19, but none of them were hospitalized. Doctors say if your child is 12 or older, start the vaccine process now. For kids younger than 12, doctors say it'll be a group effort to keep them safe.
Certainly everybody in the school has a role to help remind people, do things outside if you have a choice of doing things inside and outside.
If we're indoors, making sure that we're masked. We're in a different ballgame now. And, we really need to consider those things that we may have been a little bit lax with.
And for our youngest kids who have been home during this pandemic, this might be their first school experience. In this week's Mom Squad pod, I talked to Dr. Tori Cordiano, a clinical psychologist, about why this can be a tough time for kids.
The younger the kid, the more concrete they're thinking and the less they can sort of visualize exactly what it's going to look like, especially if they haven't been there before. So anything that gets them comfortable with what it's going to look like. So again, popping into the school, meeting the teacher, looking at pictures of it together, talking through what the routine of the day will look like, who will drop you off, what will happen next, who will pick you up.
Are there any signs that it's truly the adjustment, they're having a hard time in this new environment or situation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think you can expect the first week or so that it's an adjustment. It will be, even if it's same school as last year and as easy of an adjustment as possible, it's still a pretty big transition from summer to school year. So I think keeping everything else sort of low key so that they're not expected to come home and do 8 million activities or go on a road trip that weekend, to sort of plan for it to be a little bit of a buffer at home.
Dr. Cordiano says you'll probably see some changes in behavior, like kids getting whiny or clingy or just irritable. So keep in mind, transitions and change are hard for us as adults, so kids can have an even tougher time. You can catch our entire conversation on the Mom Squad pod anywhere where you download your podcasts. And Holly, I think you would really appreciate everything we talked about, because it was a lot about mental health and how to identify those signs of it's more than just the change and transition, that they are having a little bit more anxiety than you'd think. I mean, even when it comes to teens, I talk about the little kids because they might not be familiar with their environment.
Yeah.
But teens going through some transitions.
Oh, there's so much that they've already endured with the pandemic, and so to think of just everything that they've been through, there is, let's just, for lack of a better way of putting it, there's no routine.
No.
There's like no normal routine right now.
Right.
So that's some great advice, is to keep the home place kind of their zen.
Yes. Yeah. All right.